Calculating percentages is intimidating for a lot of folks, but actually they're pretty straightforward. If I say something is 10% off, that means I'm going to pay 90% of the original price. And I get that 90% because I take 100%, the total original price, minus what I'm taking off, 10%, and that leaves me with 90. In a similar way, if I say something is 30% off, I know I am going to pay 70% of the original price. Okay, so the other part we need to make sure we understand is, how do you calculate a percent of something? Well, percent of, the word of tells us we're going to multiply. So if we start with an original price of 100, 10% off means we pay 0.90 times 100, or $90. Likewise, if I have 30% off, I'm going to pay 0.70, 70% times the 100, or $70. Now, let's complicate this a little bit. Let's say we're going to have a double discount. For instance, my price is X. It doesn't really matter what the price is. It's the principle involved. And we are going to have a 30% off sale with an additional bonus of 10%. How would I calculate the final price? Well, the first thing is 70% of the original price, because it's 30% off, so 0.70 times X. That's the first sale price. But now I'm going to get an extra 10% off, so remember, that means I'm going to pay 0.90 of whatever I'm starting with. So I'm going to take that 0.90 times that first sales price of 0.70. So the 0.9 times the 0.7 becomes 0.63 times X. That's my final price. So what does that really mean? Well, if I reinterpret it, it means I'm paying 0.63, in other words, 63% of the original price with that double discount. The interesting thing is that you really can't add up the percentages. So a 30% off plus an additional 10 does not mean 40% off. Indeed, it actually only means 37% off. Hope that helps.